Hello, my name is Anjani, and here is the new moon astrology report for the 15th of May. And the time is going to be around 4:46 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So the new moon is in the sign of Taurus. The sun and moon both will be at 24 degrees Taurus. And there's a lot going on with this new moon. So you can see the sun and the moon, 24 degrees Taurus, at a trine angle to Pluto and Mars, as well as the midheaven. So Pluto and Mars are pretty close together, within 10 degrees. And Mars being our inner masculine, the way that we direct and project our will out into the world, and Pluto being the part of us that is, I call it the underbelly, the womb, the depth of our own consciousness, our own being. And in our body, I most relate to Pluto as the underbelly, where things are digested and transformed, and also where we find great power. You just think about the very basic of digesting food. And or if you're, understanding the regeneration cycle of a woman, there is this immense power when there's the ending of the cycle and the beginning of the cycle that happen both at the same time, that liberates energy throughout the body. The same thing with food being digested. It transforms the food matter into raw energy for the body. So Pluto and Mars being together is a very willful, transformative conjunction. There's a couple of ways that you could think about this or look at this within your own life. The way that you assert yourself, project your will out into the world, being influenced by the transformative essence of Pluto. So maybe a change in the way that you hold yourself as a human being, the way that you direct your life as far as projecting your will, could have to do with your work in the world, the way you put yourself out there. Or you could think about this as an alchemy between Pluto and Mars. So bringing together both of those energies that are within you of transformation and power, Pluto, and the way that you assert and direct your energy into the world. So bringing those two together in like a big alchemical pot, stirring in Mars and stirring in Pluto, getting a feel for that, and then seeing how Pluto and Mars are trine to both the sun and moon in Taurus, as well as Mercury, which is going to be right on the horizon line at the moment of this new moon point. So let's first talk about the sun and moon. Oh, there's so much juicy stuff to talk about here. I want to first get into Uranus. Uranus has been in the sign of Aries for a really, really long time and is scooting over into the sign of Taurus. This is actually taking place early on the 16th, later in the day on the 15th of the new moon, early in the morning on the 16th, the next day, Pacific Standard Time. This is the time zone that I'm in. And Uranus is a change agent. This is the radical, rebellious, reminds me of Prometheus, the way Prometheus stole fire from the gods in order to serve humanity. Or the new imagery we have of Maui in the movie Moana, that, in that scene that he's showing all the things that he did to serve humanity. That's it is a trickster, and it pulls the cloth out from underneath you, or from whatever it is changing. Whatever it is changing, it's pulling out from underneath us the way that things have been and making it so where we have no idea what's going to happen. When you have no idea what's going to happen, all possibilities are open. So Uranus moving into the sign of Taurus, so big. This is going to be happening, like I said, 15th, 16th. It's going to be in the sign of Taurus until November 7th, at which it's going to be turned retrograde, going back through Aries, and then it'll come back down again into Taurus. So the way this feels to me, that it's happening on the new moon in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the way that we experience our embodiment. Everything that it takes for us to sustain life in a human body is under the realm of Taurus. Also, pleasure, luxury, being in healthy receivership of what it takes to be in our physical body. So money, food, clothing, shelter, all of those things are under the umbrella of Taurus. So with Uranus scooting down into Taurus, this is giving us a big shift on the way that we experience our embodiment. And there's a lot of other things going on that kind of give me this idea of shifting our perspective on the pleasure principle. Because Taurus, for a long time, it's either, we've looked at this, like the way people are with their money. They're rich, they have fancy things, and this is what we consider to be a success, that you have a lot of money, fancy things, big house, nice cars. I'm not sure. I feel like the pleasure principle in that scenario kind of deals more with having things, not so much dealing with the joy of being in a physical body, but more about things. And what I see with Taurus moving into, with Uranus moving into Taurus, is about us really getting back, or maybe not getting back, but having this new experience of the pleasure principle within the body. What really makes you feel so abundant and full of alive energy? The things that come into my mind have to do with nature, being out in nature with the elements, with the sun shining on your skin, growing your own food, cultivating the earth, having fresh, delicious vegetables and fruits growing and providing nourishment for your body. My vision of this doesn't have to do with nice clothes, but less clothes, being, more natural with nature, just the way that everything else is, so I'll just leave it at that. Less clothing, less things in general, and more time out in nature, connecting with other natural beings. So with each other, human connections. I remember one day power went out in San Diego for like a whole day, and it was the first day I actually got to know my neighbors, and we were sharing our food from our pantries and supporting each other in very natural, simple ways that reinforced our bodies, reinforced relationships and intimacy between each other and with what we had. So this is what I see, and really what I don't want to say that I see, which I am going to say it because that's something I'm working on, that there might have some natural shaking up of the earth, because Taurus is moving into Uranus is moving into an earth sign. This is also trine to Pluto and Mars, which has Mars having to do with will, Pluto having to do with, some might say, destruction, ending of something so we can begin something else. This really reminds me of the new earth. What does the new earth look like? Because we've seen how we've treated the earth and the relationship, the intimate relationship we've had with the earth. And now Uranus moving into Taurus gives me the feeling that we're going to have a new intimacy with each other and with the earth. So could be maybe earthquakes. I mean, we're already having them anyway, but more of that for a little while. And it doesn't mean necessarily, I'm not predicting that. I'm saying that shaking up the earth and giving us a new ground, breaking the old ground, giving us a new ground. There's also this Mercury here, which is our perspective, the way that we think and communicate, and that's conjunct to Uranus also. So shifting our ground of consciousness, shifting the way that we are cognizing, conceptualizing, thinking, and expressing our intellect. So a big shifting of all of that coming up. And that I will say, I'm pretty sure that that's happening. So look on your own chart to see where this is taking place so you can get an idea of, here's an image of my chart, and you can see here on the outside Uranus and Mercury together, kind of going over my natal Chiron. So nothing really in particular. So have a peek at yours and see if you have anything that's touching that, because that's going to give you a really good idea and clue as to ways to engage with this electrifying, radical, new wave of information and groundbreaking, transformational shift in your life. So that's enough of that. There's one more thing I just want to mention because I didn't really get to touch too much on it. Taurus new moon is a wonderful time for reinventing your own intimate relationship with your body. Great time to get a massage, to open to receiving. Opening to receive is something that you can't really be taught. But I find that when people are getting a massage, their bodies know how to open and they want to receive. So laying down on the table and being with somebody who feels very confident and you feel that you trust them, your body opens up. So tonight, early tomorrow morning, think about that. And maybe don't think about it. Allow your body to feel that. Soak in a hot bath. Go outside and lay on the earth. Laying on the earth is one of the best ways that I know to ground your physical body, connect with the earth, and open up to receive all the goodness that is flowing through the universe. So I'll go ahead and stop with that. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I love answering questions. I love to hear from you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.